Students' perceptions of resilience-promoting factors in Chinese and American middle schools. Class MAP survey is a measurement of resilience in classroom and school settings that can result in data about 8 resilience-promoting factors that can be improved by school-based interventions. Its simplicity, robust psychometrics, and direct connection with data-based consultation model motivated us to examine if it has acceptable measurement equivalence with Chinese student population. In this study, due to data limitation, we only used 7 subscales. The first purpose of this cross-cultural empirical study was to examine the cultural validity of the class MAP survey with Chinese middle school students as they are facing more and more social and emotional challenges in schools. We reviewed relevant literature regarding the concept of resilience in Chinese culture, the resilience-promoting factors in Chinese student population, including the environmental factors such as teacher-student relationship, peer relationship, and home-school relationship, and individual factors such as academic self-efficacy and behavior self-control. Overall, current research suggests that Chinese tend to adopt a holistic and ecological view of adversity and adaptation. Chinese research on resilience generally adopts the conceptualization of resilience in the Western cultures. In addition, it seems all the factors in class MAP survey, except academic self-efficacy, have a promoting impact on resilience with Chinese students. Then we conducted a multi-group confirmatory fact analysis using a Chinese middle school student sample and a companion American middle school student sample. The class MAP survey was translated to a Chinese version using a rigorous back translation procedure. The results suggest that the model fit was acceptable at all levels except strict invariance. All the 7 subscales had a good to acceptable scalar measurement equivalence, suggesting that they can be used independently. These findings added more data to previous research that there is a similar set of resilience-promoting factors in Chinese culture with middle school students. However, one caution to take is that the mechanism of how these factors function in each culture might not be the same and should be further explored. These findings also suggest that we can use the Chinese version of class MAP survey and its 7 subscales independently in Chinese middle schools. This has important implications. The Chinese version of class MAP survey can produce data on how strong the 7 factors are in the schools for prevention and intervention development. More importantly, the class MAP survey has a built-in data-driven consultation model to guide this process. One critical tool used in this consultation model is class meetings, which are a common practice in Chinese schools. Therefore, there are existent resources in Chinese middle schools that are compatible with the data from the Chinese version of class MAP survey. Being able to use the 7 subscales independently further allows the administration of the Chinese version to be tailored to the needs of classroom settings where addressing all the 7 factors is not feasible. The second purpose of the study was to compare the group means across the U.S. and Chinese samples to identify commonalities and differences. The results suggest that Chinese students, compared with their American counterparts, scored significantly higher on teacher-student relationships, peer conflict, homeschool relationships, self-determination, and behavior self-control, and significantly lower on academic self-efficacy. These results are consistent with previous research findings in Chinese education, socialization, and student self-efficacy. The current study found no difference in peer friendships between the 2 cultural groups. However, Chinese students scored significantly higher on peer conflict than their American counterparts. It might suggest that Chinese students have a similar level of peer support but significantly higher level of perceived peer disruption, which is inconsistent with previous research findings. One possible explanation might be that previous research examined only the overall peer relationships, while the current study specified peer friendships and peer conflict. The different findings on peer friendships and peer conflict suggest the importance of specificity in describing peer relationships. There are several limitations of the current study. We only used 7 subscales of the class MAPS survey. Both samples lack student demographic information. We did not collect outcome data to test the concurrent validity of the Chinese version. Future studies can use a sample from other regions of China and rural schools and test the concurrent validity of the Chinese version of the class MAPS survey with outcome data, such as academic achievement and psychological stress, using all 8 factors in the class MAPS survey.